Welcome to this episode of This Is How We Do It. Today, we're going to go over how to clean a pistol. In this case, it is a Springfield XDM in .40 caliber. So, first thing you want to do, obviously, or maybe not obviously for some people, is check and make sure there's nothing in the chamber, okay? So, a couple things you need if you're going to clean a pistol or a firearm. One, you need a firearm. Two, you're going to need a cleaning kit. So, I've got a cleaning kit. I've had this one for years. I use it on all kinds of different calibers. You want to make sure the kit you get is specific to the caliber of firearm that you're cleaning. Or not specific, but has some specific brushes that you can use for that firearm. Well, this is a kind of do-it-all kit, right? So something else I add to these kits, Q-tips. Q-tips are handy for getting in those tight spots and cleaning out some of that powder that you may or may not have gotten earlier in other cleanings. Some questions people ask: when should you clean your gun? Well, it's kind of a personal preference. With me, I clean my guns when I'm done shooting them. In other words, I don't go shoot my firearms and then let them sit in the safe dirty. So if I'm shooting and I'm done, I'll break them down and I'll clean them that day. If I'm going to be shooting the next day, however, I don't necessarily clean them until I'm done shooting the next day. I can put 300 rounds through this gun, no problem, and it's not going to jam, it's not going to fail, right? Springfield did an amazing job putting these together. I've had this one since 2010. Excellent firearm. Great for everything you want to do with it. A little big for concealed carry, but it can be concealed, and I've got a bigger frame, so I can conceal it, but that's not what my everyday concealed carry is. So, all right, to break down this particular firearm, here's what we're going to do. We're going to pull the slide back, and we're going to use this lever lock right here. We're going to lock back that slide lock, okay? Now, what we want to do is we want to pull this, get that stiff, okay? Takedown lever up, in the up position. Now we're going to release this slide lock, and the top's going to come right off the gun. Easy, easy stuff. Easy to take down, easy to put together. So I'm going to put this piece here, and I'm going to pull the spring. This is 40 caliber, it's got a pretty stiff spring, all right? Just put pressure on it, pop it up, comes right out, just like that. That piece here. Next, we're going to take that barrel out. Pretty easy. Match barrel, set it down right there, and here's the top, here's the slide. All right. And at this point, we're going to pick which part we're going to clean first. I usually start with the barrel and work my way through everything else. Some people just clean the barrels and they call it good. They don't even break their guns down. That's not how I do it. It's not how we do it around here, right? So I'm going to show you the way I do it. So we're going to get, first I'm going to get a brush. You can check this, and I'll have it labeled in the box to brush out the barrel, okay? We want it to fit snug, but not, you know, we don't want something like this going in there, this big old brush, right? Something that fits and it'll do the job, okay? We get our pieces out here, get our little handy dandy handle. Screw this guy on, oh, wrong one. This one, screw this guy on there. All right, now we're going to take our brush, copper wire, that right in the top. So something else you need to think about is what kind of oil you want to use when you're cleaning guns, what kind of cleaner, lubricant, penetrating oils, things like that you want to use. I use this Safari Land, break-free. It's a cleaner, lubricant, and a preservative. And what I do is, I'll just spray it on this brush nice and thick, just like that. You see that foam up real good? And you might want to have a cloth because it can drip. And then I'm going to push this through the barrel, pull it back several times, Usually about 20 times for me. I like to loosen that up really good. Let that break free, start working, that CLP. All right, and loosen up all that powder. Truth be told, this gun's probably not really that dirty, but it has been sitting for a little bit. All right, call that good for now. Now you can leave that on there or take it off. For the sake of what we're doing here, we'll pull that off. Put that away, things back where we got them so we can find them later. Now we're gonna get ourselves a patch. Set our patch here and get something to push that patch through with. All right, let's see, we'll push that patch through with, we'll find the right size here. Just check against the barrel if you're not sure. This is what I'm looking for. Again, it's not labeled. Okay. Put that right into the tip there. All right. Set our patch. Actually, you got 3 of them here. Let's do 2. They're pretty thin, so put them right there, and we're going to push that through the barrel. And there it is. Not real dirty, not too dirty at all, actually. Pretty clean, like I said. It hasn't been shot in a while, but it has been sitting. So I'm going to turn that patch over and I'm going to put it through again. Just like so. And, you know, it's probably a bad example for a gun. I should go shoot one and do another video so I can show you how dirty they can be, if you didn't already know. I'll run one more patch through there, just for cleanup. And there it is. Came out pretty clean, nothing on it. All right. So next, the barrel's done. We'll put that up here. I'm gonna move to the slide, right? So this is a striker fired pistol. So that's all contained in the housing here, up on the slide, spring in the back. So I'm gonna grab my Q-tip and I'm gonna put a little bit of this oil on it. This penetrating oil loosens up powder, all right? Put that on there. And I'm just gonna kind of soak everything down here real good. Not too heavy, just enough to sit where the powder might be and loosen things up. Stuff goes to work right away. So you can see the brush has already got powder on it, or the Q-tip rather. Okay, make sure you hit everything, swab it down. Get all these areas where it wears, where powder can get stuck in there. All right, not too dirty, not bad at all. Again, already been cleaned before. All right, so then I'm going to move on here. This is the polymer, right? Get another Q-tip. Wet it down, some CLP here. Oh, whoa, little much. Be careful, stuff comes out quick if you're using it. And I'm going to go in here, wet everything down just like we did on the other one. Let it do its thing and go to work. All the parts and pieces, all the metal. It's kind of like using a paintbrush. Some people use a lot of oil, some people don't use enough. To me, Q-tip is the perfect applicator for this. It holds on to oil, you push down, you get a little more. Works really well. And again, you don't want to over oil your guns, you just don't. And this is, again, this is for cleaning. So I'm kind of gooping it on there, loosen up powder, things like that. Down in here with all the little mechanisms. Okay, let's sit there for a little bit. And I've got these big patches. These are for like a shotgun, for example. And I'll use this to kind of go through and wipe things down afterwards. Just kind of wipe it off. I want to wipe it dry at this point. Right? I want all that, as much as that CLP off as I can get, because it's containing the powder particles that it loosened up, right? And so it's going to come off with some color on it, and that's not what we want in there. We want to clean the gun, not leave the residue in the powder, okay? But it doesn't hurt to leave this in there as a lubricant. Doesn't hurt it at all. It won't hurt the gun. But I use a different oil for that I'll show you here shortly. All right, go slide here. That did its magic. All right, back all up in here, in the grooves. Okay, a little wipe down on the barrel in the back. All the little nooks and crannies here. Something else I do with the barrel. So I'll take one of my Q-tips. I used one. I still have oil on them. And I'll kind of put a little bit of oil here. You can see where that barrel has worn from shooting, right? It's worn the coating off. So just put a little bit on there. It's super thin. Let it sit for a minute. And then I'll wipe it off. It's just to clean it, right? That's a CLP. It's a cleaner. All right, we're done with that. So I'm gonna put that somewhere else. Now I'm gonna move to this. This is a really thin oil. It's Hoppy's number 9. It's good stuff. It's like sewing machine oil. It's very light, very thin, and it's great. I've never had an issue using this oil with any of my firearms. It works very well. So again, I'm going to take a Q-tip. I'm going to load this Q-tip up. A little much dripping. All right, start with the slide here. And I'm just going to, just like a paintbrush, just going to go over nice and easy. All the little parts, right? Get a little bit down in there. Go up here on where the striker mechanism is here, the firing pin. Hit that. Not a lot, just a coating, a little bit. And then here where the slide grabs the polymer frame, I'm gonna hit those, again, ever so lightly. Doesn't need a lot, just like painting it on. All right, same thing here. Gonna hit where the slide connects. All little parts and pieces, all these little metal pieces. Get a little bit of this light, thin oil on them. Just to help things function a little bit smoother. This gun operates very smooth. And with the barrel, so recommendations, you should always read your owner's manual for the firearm you buy, always, right? I'm a big proponent of understanding the rules and the do's and don'ts with something you buy, not just firearms, but anything, right? And this particular manufacturer, as is Glock, recommends that you put a little bit of oil right here where the spring rests. So we're gonna do that, all right. And again, now with the thin oil, the sewing machine type oil, the Hoppy's number 9, we're gonna put a little bit on the barrel, a little bit, and then just kind of wipe it around, get a nice little coating there. All right, now let's reassemble this firearm. All right, slide, gun barrel. Okay, spring next. That in there, give it a good push. Stiff, again, 40 caliber, good spring. There it is. Slide and barrel and spring installed. Housing, polymer frame. Pull it back. Lock the slide. Put our pin back. Our takedown lever back down. That's it. Clean. Just like new. Fires like a dream. Springfield's XDM and 40 caliber with a match barrel. Fantastic firearm. That's it for this episode. We'll catch you next time. We'll do something fun. Maybe pick a different firearm. I'll make sure it's one I've shot recently so it's nice and dirty for you. I've got lots to choose from, so I'll have to flip a coin a few times. But yeah, we'll do it again next time. Until then, stay safe.